All right, welcome back. North American College Championship round number 4 coming right up. I'm Evans Clinchy, joined by Will Anderson. Will, interesting morning session so far. 3 games down, 1 to go, and now we got Rob versus Joel.
Yeah, this is a matchup with quite a lot of pedigree to it. Two of the top players in North America for sure. Former champion, already, how many decades has Joel been playing? 3, 4, 5, still playing at an extremely high level. Rob, on the other hand, with a lot of wins in recent years, I'm expecting a great game.
I'm going to do a quick Wikipedia check, but I believe Joel was a national champion before I was even born. He won in 1983, so yes.
That's me too. 84 baby here. So
yeah. So yeah, Joel, a long-time champion level player. I believe he's one of 2 people ever to win a U.S., Canadian, and World Championship. I think it's just him and Adam Logan that have done that.
quite the
So,
trifecta.
yeah, not bad. And Rob has been on an absolute tear for the last couple of years. He's the current New Orleans champion. He's the current Hood River champion. He is just killing it. So 2 great players. Looking forward to this matchup for sure. And it'll be Rob to go first as we get started here.
There will be a lot of, hopefully, as long as it's not a total slugfest with just bingos on every turn, we're going to have a lot of strategic nuances to cut our teeth into here as we analyze, with Rob going first, drawing that S he's happy to see.
Update on the standings. Joel is 3-0 plus 216. He's in second place. And Rob is 2-1 plus 347. He's in fourth. So 2 of the top players on the leaderboard right here. Although it's obviously still very early.
Well,
and a monster opening draw for Rob. Okay.
Yeah, I laughed.
That's why you were laughing.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, either you, Evans, or the chat. As soon as I saw that rack, I made a little chuckle. That's not the way Joel wants to see Rob start out. But if you're Rob, you've just drawn Aziones. I think that's Italian origin. Yeah, nice 100 points. But Joel is at least going to bingo in response. Verbina's through the E at a minimum. Maybe there's something else I'm not seeing. So at least Joel can turn some tiles, and maybe he can outdraw Rob on his replenishment draw after his bingo. I definitely expect Joel to see that word.
Yeah, Verbina's the only bingo here.
I guess there's some question about which positioning you use to play it. I feel like I would probably play it without the V constricting that upper right side of the board. I would probably play Verbina's such that that E of Aziones is right in the middle of the word as opposed to the beginning.
Yeah, 3 more points because you're doubling the V.
Doing that looks like it will give Rob recoiled.
Oh my gosh. In a lot of situations, it doesn't matter that much which one you choose. Turns out here it matters a lot.
Is there any other? Yeah, I'm not sure if there's some other letter that Rob can be hoping for that is on Joel's rack, but the R certainly qualifies.
Yeah. If Joel plays Robina's through the first E, then Rob has no bingo.
That would be such a strange choice.
Yeah.
I just have to assume that this is a classic case of Joel is going to make a play that we all think is correct, but he is going to be quote unquote punished for it. Not really punished. I'm not sure what the word is, but right play, wrong outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not really much reason to play Verbina's through the first E. But maybe he just randomly does it. We'll see. Joel taking his time here.
Yeah, I worry about that. I say this a lot. Okay, there you go. I say a lot that with every passing second, I do worry that there's been a miss.
Mm-hmm.
But Joel is not one to miss too much stuff.
He might have just been checking. I mean, as you were saying, it wasn't obvious that Verbina's was the only bingo. He might have just been checking for other possible plays.
Absolutely. That is for sure the case. Of course, in this situation, you would love there to be something through the I, for example, something that hits both double word scores, or even something that hits only one through the I is going to be a little bit better than this. but you got to at least take a look for it before you settle for Verbenas. But yeah, we're going to see recoiled. And I guess the only upside from Joel's POV is that will put a D in the triple lane, but it certainly does. Oh man.
For his
I
rack of
thought,
AQWW. Yeah.
but he's so close to Kowali. Come on. L. One L.
One time. Get that L.
Oh,
sadness.
Rats. Yeah. So Kowali is not a word you're going to see every day. 14 Domino in the chat, also detecting it before it happened. And unfortunately, we will not see it here. That would have been pretty insane. Yeah, if you get that L, it plays through the A of Aziones for an enormous score. But no such luck for Joel.
Surely Rob just plays AL. Anything's possible.
Well, even that isn't that exciting, right? Like,
it'll be a lower scoring Kowali.
It would be exciting, but it takes the sting out of the play quite a lot. Now it's time to play cat through the A of Verbenas and fish for Kowali in one of the two spots, right? You have the L of recoiled. You could draw an A and play Kowali there, or if you draw the L, you'll play it through Aziones. I'm voting for cat for 5 points. What about you, Evans?
I'm sorry, you're voting for cat?
CAT through the A of Verbenas. That's my preferred.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely play that. That's the best play.
Leaving QAWWI, which is...
What you can do is play WAT, WAT underneath the A and Aziones, and then your Kowali play is still alive because you can play it through AW.
That's actually a good play.
Sorry, is this a bad plays only stream? I wasn't aware.
Well, I mean, this is actually extremely competitive, top-notch, tournament. So no content only plays, but that is actually the perfect merger of a good content play and well, maybe not. Maybe is there some more content-y play? Not really.
I mean, you identified CAT as the best content of all.
No, I mean a play that is defensible as a good strategic choice as well as.
Oh, then yeah, no, then.
So unfortunately, cat is not.
The bot says the equity of AIQWW is negative 17.509. Thank you for that.
That's it.
Yeah, it seems even worse.
It feels
maybe
worse.
It's because you draw Kowali so often that redeems it a little bit.
I mean,
if Kowali weren't a word,
often
can we write some code to figure out hypothetically if Kowali were no good, what that value would be? It's probably minus 40, minus 100 maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I wonder. Okay, so Joel's getting set to play Wa, or I'm not even sure. I think I'm supposed to say Vav for this.
Yeah, it sounds right.
But either way, getting rid of both the W's in one go, but opening a triple. Although the W is not the scariest thing ever to open in a triple lane, just because the downside risk of it is not quite as bad as usual. Not a lot of triples through W. So, but plenty of scoring plays. I don't know. How do you feel about that play, Evans?
Well, his Kowali percentage is now under 1%. He would need to use the blank to make it a W. So clearly a terrible play for that reason. I don't know. I think it's probably good to just kind of open the board a little bit. Maybe it kind of creates a diversion that forces Rob to play through that W and then leaves kind of your bingo real estate elsewhere on the board more open. So I just kind of like the general openness idea of it. But this is going to be tough, though, for Joel. He's down by a lot. And his rack is still not very good.
Yeah. I'm feeling like I probably wouldn't have played this, but I'm trying to figure out what I would prefer. The play you suggested of just WAT scoring 32 is much more defensive, but the leave does have QW in it, which is not really what you want. I don't know. I feel like I would be tempted to play just WAW through the A of Aziones more than this.
Okay.
it doesn't actually score that many fewer points, only 5 fewer points, and you keep that A, which is really important for getting rid of the Q a bunch of different ways. You retain the ability to play cat, which is already available on top of recoiled. You could draw an S and play caddies for a big score through the D if Rob doesn't play there. So keeping the A actually helps a fair bit.
For sure.
But this is tough. I honestly do not feel very confident about anything that I just said.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna defer to a former world champion on this one.
So for Rob now, he's up by 83 or 82 if I could actually add numbers. And interesting position. Like, you're not really afraid of the W that much. You don't. If you're going to block a triple, the one on the right side is more important, I would say. It's a pretty wide open board. Like, I don't think an 80-point lead is safe by any means on a board like this. A lot of ways for Joel to bingo. Theoretically, anyway, not in the real world where he's got CLLQ on his rack.
Yeah, I think I would be sorely tempted to play audio through the D.
Yep.
Of recoiled here. I do appreciate that Zaire with Wawa scores quite well. The leave isn't quite as good. I mean, the thing about audio is that it scores okay, and it leaves you with RED on a pretty open board. There's actually a lot of through tiles here. Good board to have such a nice bingo leave on, I would say.
That's a great point. Yeah. Perhaps a little bit better than Zaire would be Dorais for 42, making WAWE.
So
pretty
this is
similar
the
plays,
other,
both scoring 40-ish.
This is the other tack, and I just want to say that if not for Joel having played the 2 W's previously, this would make Kawali hit even harder in that spot.
All right, Rob does choose Dorais, which is the highest scoring play possible.
Yeah, this is perfectly defensible. It scores so well. It's hard to turn down such a high score. I don't really quibble with this compared to audio. It does make that nice O hook of Odorize, but the V of Verbenas limits the damage that can do to you in most cases. The O would have to be the 4th letter of a 7-letter word to bingo with Odorize, which is not exactly likely. So, Joel can definitely get rid of his Q here. It looks like he is considering playing Deltic. That's kind of interesting because it sets up an easy place for him to plop his Q down on the next turn for 31.
Oh, yeah, that's very nice.
It would be especially nice if the C were not hanging out there at the end of the word.
Yeah. Or if, like, IC were a word, yeah.
Exactly. Which, of course, the C, notoriously difficult to play 2-letter words. But I guess is it really that crazy to just go with simple old Chi here?
Oh, just to the left of Dorais for, what is it, like 25?
Yeah, I mean, that's not very inspiring, but
Celtic is really nice. I'm drawn to it. Not necessarily saying it's best, but it looks interesting.
I do like that it gives you that simple, if you just don't get any help for the U, there are no U's on the board from Joel's POV. We can see that 2 of them are on Rob's rack, but he doesn't know that. So the odds of him getting a U to pair with that Q are pretty good. That can help. So I get it. I'm not hating Deltic by any means. I think it's a pretty competitive play and a creative one, which we were saying before the game that these players are creative enough. And there you do see an O find its way into Joel's rack. I wonder if he'll get something good there. I mean a U, sorry. I misspoke.
Yeah, Deltic. Wow, okay.
Whoa. I don't know if he has. Joel's drawn the second blank there. I'm not sure if he has anything especially good or bingo prone with it, but that's certainly now he can get a 1-2 punch of a Q play and then a bingo, potentially with Odorize would be great. Rob has a blank, but what is he even going to do with this weird combo?
Yeah,
of
nothing
other
very
letters?
good. Jeez. AAEMUU blank. Wow. Not a lot that's interesting here.
So this is great news for Joel, as Rob is almost certainly going to slow down here and play something uninspiring. I could easily imagine him take a score in the like teens or something here. If he wants to play AUE alongside Door Eyes, he could. That doesn't score great.
You can
At
play
least
Aurum through the R for 15, gets rid of
for
both
sure.
U's.
Yep, that's true. Might block a few plays to the W of Waw that you would be happy to have blocked. But even that, it's not very many points.
Oh,
So
Aurum has no
Joel,
hooks. Okay, I wasn't sure if Aurum took anything in the front. It does not.
oh yeah, that's a good thought. That looks like it easily could.
Yeah, like Laurum sounds like a word. I don't know.
True. Ford Torum.
Torum, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
Uh,
Interesting rack for Joel for sure. He's got the QUA in the blank, but I don't think he quite has anything that I can tell.
yeah, what's he gonna do there? Is he just gonna play like Aqua through the A of Verbenas? Does he have something else that we're not? Oh, it's time to burn the blank and fish for Koali.
Wow, that actually scored a ton. Look at that.
He should play AOU somewhere. He should play, I don't even know where, but something with those two letters. Try to pluck an I. It's a bunch of them left. Unfortunately, that is not the most realistic winning path for Joel. We would love to see that play we've been talking about because it is so rare and silly, but that's not what we're going to see. Rob's taking his sweet time here. That makes sense to me. It feels like
Yeah.
with no great option, but a lot of plays that do very different things. Aurum blocking the W of Wa, AUE, Aue. Actually, hold on. Somebody on my YouTube channel told me how to pronounce that, but I'm butchering it still. I forgot. But that would block the O of Odorize if he's worried about that. So a lot to think about for him.
Yeah, definitely. I do think Aurum is probably the best play. I mean, it seems to accomplish a lot in terms of scoring reasonably well, cleaning up the U's, and also blocking a little bit of Joel's potential on that side of the board. Seems to do everything you want it to. Well, what's he going with, though, here? This looks like is it a Muse?
He's playing a Muse, which is
Okay.
interesting because maybe he has identified as his biggest threat the S of Verbenas, right? Which is
yeah.
not crazy. If you want to make a list of threats on this board, if you're Rob, that's definitely up there. Neither of the plays we had mentioned, Aurum or Aue, block the W of Wa anyway. So
Right.
this isn't any worse than those two in that regard. And this blocks the S of Verbenas, which a lot of the time you'll get bingos ending in S, but even worse, you might give up double doubles going through the S all the way, which are extremely damaging. So I get the logic here.
Yeah, it's an interesting point about the S and Verbenas being the most dangerous spot. This is just me. I generally tend to, if there's like a bunch of different spots to bingo, just kind of give up on blocking for the moment and just make my best equity play. But not everybody agrees with that approach. So, there's definitely ways for Joel to bingo no matter what you play in a position like that because the board's just open enough. But I think you're probably right that the S is the scariest of the spots. Meanwhile, Joel has like 8 million places to play Aqua. Take your pick, which one?
Yeah. I mean, at this score, it would be sorely tempting to me to just play Qua off of the D of Dorais. Right?
Nice little setup-y idea.
So if you can catch Rob without an A, we see that Rob does have an A. But from Joel's POV, there's actually not super many left. So
yeah,
playing
3 out of 55, not very many.
Playing Qua there and hoping to follow up with an Aqua play that goes for a pretty solid score on the triple seems like a gambit worth making.
I like it.
At the same time, is there any concern that after Rob's play of Amuse, that certainly looks like a play he would make holding more vowels, right? Like that's, I would definitely expect him to have more vowels in his 3-tile leave, in the range of leaves that he could keep after amuse, than usual. And it looks like Joel is considering it. I think it's worth it based on the game scenario. But yeah, it's actually not that easy for Rob to play something hooking Aqua, even though he has an A. As you guys are suggesting, extra typo in the chat suggests Rob will burn his blank and play Guava. Oh, but Joel has gone a different direction.
That's a shame. I really would have liked to see Qua there. Oh, Aqua is interesting too, though. You're setting up a scoring hotspot, although that's not, I don't know. You're not really looking to score 50 points. You're down by more than that, but
yeah, I just worry that spot gets hit really hard some of the time. Of course, in this particular scenario, Rob does not have anything that lets him hit that spot very hard. So
very true.
All right, what's Joel gonna draw? Ooh, weird. I don't know if he's got anything great there.
Well, he's still got that Odorize hook, so he could play Vog or Gov there if he wants to just leave the Aqua spot alone.
Totally, that's true. I was actually reacting to Joel's rack where it wasn't clear to me what he has. Like, there are potential 8s he could have, but I don't think I see any of them fitting Gladiola or something.
Yeah, he needs the G from Rob for Gladiola.
So yeah. Anyway, that was a really interesting move from Joel. A lot of different things to consider. I don't hate his play of Aqua. I don't think I would have done it just because you can really get crushed so hard in that spot that Aqua creates. But
the more I look at your idea of Qua, the more I like it. I think it's the perfect score line. Like, you're down by 110, so you need not just any bingo, but a really high scoring one. And you're setting up a really nice high scoring lane that could be an exclusive lane to you if your opponent doesn't have an A. I think it's really the perfect play for that spot. But well.
Given the score of the game.
Yeah, you're down by 110. It's like the perfect amount. Oh, what's happening now?
Adam notes that if Joel is able to spot a very impressive bingo with the blank of Valonia with 2 L's. So it is valid in the North American dictionary with just the 1 L. But can Joel spot this? I didn't see it very quickly, and he's going to have to dig deep to find it. But Joel, we know that Joel has seen every word in the dictionary at least once. Like, I don't think there's a word. I don't think there's a word that would surprise Joel to be good. Finding that with a blank here is not easy, and I'll be super impressed if he does it.
Definitely findable, though. It's also one of those words that I've guessed wrong in my study before. I've guessed Valonial. Just an L hook on the valid American word, but
sure. So he does have the consolation prize of allodial through the L of recoiled as well. So 2 difficult bingos that he has to spot here.
That bingo scores like 46 points, I think.
It does not score well. It looks like so I guess the saving grace for that one is that, and it looks like he set it up. The saving grace for, very nice, Joel. That's just impressive.
You love to see it. Nice play. 72, best by far. And he's back in the game a little bit.
So Rob has that second blank, which of course does make it likely that he'll get another bingo down, but this board has rapidly closed, right? So really the only area of the board that is really good for bingos now is the Aqua area. If you can play something with an E in early position, you'll play Aqua and bingo there. Other than that, it's a lot of marginal.
See if Joel draws something to play in that hot spot.
Exactly, because Rob is going to struggle. Still hasn't.
Yeah.
Rob is going to struggle. There's an S, an X. What else will we see?
It's a 37-point game. Like, if Joel draws some, 50, 60-point big hotspot play there.
Jinx.
Or if he draws Jinx.
Oh man, Pokemon enjoyers rejoice because we might be about to see the highest scoring Pokemon play of all time. Rob could easily play Ague here. I just to rain on everybody's parade. I feel like it's very, very, very likely that Rob is going to play Ague in the lower left corner of the board
Yeah,
and
that's a
block
pretty
that
good play,
spot.
unfortunately,
I just
for
don't
Joel.
think, I don't think he's going to have any tolerance for leaving that spot open any longer than he has to. That being said, if in some way that he continues to leave it open, we are going to see an absolutely monstrous play in the lower left of the board. And I'm kind of rooting for it, even though I just think Rob is way too good at evaluating risk to let that spot stay.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't expect
But
Rob to leave it open.
But the content,
It is
Evans,
104 if it is left open, just for the record.
104
Adam points out there's an X bomb next to Deltic too. So no matter what Rob does, Joel's going to have something big.
Yep, for sure. You can see EX will fit there quite nicely, leaving the J. The J also plays with Jaw, so you can potentially fit some stuff in there with the A and of Ationes and the W of Wa. You could see maybe what even fits in there though. Not a lot. I guess Ahi and Jib, but not too much else will fit with Jaw. But it's better than nothing. Well, there's also spots on top of Valonia where the J could go. So there's a lot of power on Joel's rack. But yeah, Rob's going to give this a good think. I strongly expect him to play Ague. And then from there,
also play EAU, making Akwe. That also blocks it.
That works quite nicely as well. And then it's just about if Rob continues to draw poorly or whether he connects on a bingo. That will determine a lot going forward here.
But Joel's definitely still in this game. A long way to go, 42 tiles left. And I think if you're Joel, the plan is to score a lot with the X one turn, score a lot with the J the following turn, and then try to bingo 3 turns from now. And if you can do that, you're going to be scoring a lot of points the whole way. So he's got winning chances for sure.
I guess my issue is that Joel has a lot of the tiles on his rack already that Rob would need to draw if he's not going to get a bingo down on this next turn, right? Like, what would the most annoying thing be for Rob to draw the J or the Y or something like that? I guess the X. I mean, those tiles are great because they score well, but if Rob somehow manages to draw those and not have a good scoring play, that will continue to set him back as he tries to bingo. But because Joel has those tiles already, it's going to be tough for him to miss out on a bingo next turn.
Yeah, I was going to say the other annoying thing you could draw is just too many vowels, but look at the top right corner of your screen. 42 tiles, 13 vowels, 29 consonants. That's very good news for Rob. He's going to have AI blank and some more consonants most likely. And he does play egg, destroying Joel's hopes and dreams. Is it egg or agwe? I don't know how to say words.
Oh, I say ague, but maybe that's
ague. Oh, that sounds better. Okay. All right. Score is updated. It's 279 to 221. Sorry about the lag of a couple of seconds on my end. Got some hotel Wi-Fi issues. But you'll eventually see the score show up on your screen.
So Joel having his beautiful 100-point jinx taken away from him. But look at Rob's draw. He's drawn 2 more eyes. That is going to continue. So basically from here, Joel's likely to bomb that X for a nice score. And then Rob's not going to bingo again, I don't believe. And then Joel can hit something, and then Joel can hit something good with his J, and he'll likely be in the lead. And as you said, Evans, if he can follow up the X and J plays with a bingo of his own somewhere, then Joel is poised to make a pretty impressive comeback here. And really,
keyword being somewhere.
Yeah,
not going to be easy to find a spot to bingo on this board, but he'll have to try.
So he's going to play Vox instead of EX.
Only 3 E's left, so you really want to value keeping yours. I can understand that.
That does make sense. I'm just wondering if keeping the O to pair with the J is helpful at all. So is there some other spot on the board other than the jaw spot? I guess maybe the nice thing about keeping the O is at a minimum, you could play Jiao to the W of Wa for a decent score if you don't hit anything better somewhere else.
That's reasonable, yeah.
But Vox the play anyway. 47 points. Still pretty strong.
Rob has panini here, which is a shame because I was already really hungry for lunch, and now seeing panini is making it even worse.
through the end of Verbenas.
Yeah.
Sorry to. Maybe he won't torture you, and he'll play something else that's not as food related. I'm not sure what else there is. He could play pilau. That would be another food dish.
Nice.
But that would leave 2 eyes, so I don't foresee him doing that. If he doesn't spot panini, which it looks like he clearly has done. Nice, nicely done.
That 1 second lag. I didn't know he'd seen it. There. Okay, now I got it. All right, panini, nice play. Looks like it's pretty clearly the best option here.
So now what for this J? I'm just wondering if he had kept his O, there really isn't anything super better on this turn. So it's not likely to have made a big difference, except that EX would have gotten 5 more points, I guess, than Vox. But either way, Joel is going to be able to use his J for something decent. And let's see what Rob draws again. There's only so long that Rob can go, right?
You'd think he would bingo eventually.
All right, that looks pretty good. But is it? Lordotic. Okay, so he has something from the L that I can see.
Nice. Okay.
Of recoiled. So there is a playable word. I feel like Rob's got a good chance of seeing that.
Yeah.
And I don't really imagine that Joel is going to block it.
Yeah, not really seeing how he would do that. I'm seeing if like any of the top 15 candidate moves block it, and it looks like none of them do.
Good
All
point by Brown Dave that playing EX would have gotten in the way of Lordotic if you want to be.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That guy that goes back in time like that. Of course, the butterfly effect extends, further out. It's hard to say concretely that the game would have unfolded the same way. But yes, you can see now that L would have been blocked. Of course, from Joel's POV, he didn't want to block. He's trailing. You don't want to block that much while you're still trailing. But maybe he wanted to block because he's going to outscore his way back into this game, having all the good scoring tiles left, essentially. I don't know. It's tough to come up with that rationale.
Yeah. So Rob, we'll see. If Rob finds Lordotic, he's in a commanding position. If he doesn't, though, it's going to be a very close game. I mean, Joel's only down by 31 now. He's made this one a pretty close game so far.
Seems like he's getting set to play G on top of Valonia using his 2 vowels. As you just said, Evans, though, keeping FNSY with so few vowels left does have some potential to go south. At least you keep the Y, which will help you dump some consonants if you need to. I'm sure Joel's going to be aware of that. Is he getting ready to play? Oh, he might be getting ready to just play FY alongside Vox, keeping his vowels for later.
Yeah,
that would be
recognizing the vowel issue. That's smart if he is.
That would be such a savvy play on his part. You keep
this is
your
a pretty
J.
Severe. Wow.
You keep your J for later. You have that follow-up 39-point play with it if you need. You could draw something better with jaw. Okay, he's going to go ahead and do the textbook play. Dump the J, keep your S and other better letters. But I like that idea of phi here. Just because this can go so south for you if you draw 3 consonants, and that is pretty likely.
Yeah, I think this is a really severe consonant-vowel ratio. 23-8 is, you don't see worse than that very often, and I think you really do need to adjust your play to account for that. But Joel's going to keep FNSY and take his chances here.
Wow, only one playable bingo for Rob. It is the aforementioned Lordotic, and you can see he's about to play it. Nicely done. No pause, no delay.
Nice. That's one of those situations where even if you see the word, it's hard to be sure that it's the best play. Like, you got to look for other bingos. We have computers, so we know that there isn't one, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he did a lot of that work during Joel's turn. So the fact that Joel did not open him a new bingo spot to look at, he could just go ahead and say, all right, this is as good as I spotted. I'm going to go ahead and play this. And it is a great play, his only bingo, and it's an adjective, so it doesn't take an S. A lot of good things here for Rob. He just helped his winning chances quite a bit spotting this.
So Joel has indeed drawn more consonants, as we are fearing he might. He's got, somebody's pointed out Briner as an option, Briner. Oh, I see, yeah, through the disconnected I and the E. That's nice.
Oh, that's, yeah, very clever. Fry underneath a muse as well, getting rid of one of the 2 R's. Seems pretty good, but the real estate on this board is drying up rapidly. The upper part of the board is almost completely off limits. The letters there just don't hook very well. The Gov and G part of the board is just going to be very difficult to reopen. And then the bottom part of the board is similarly difficult to access. It really is just that I of Panini. And Rob's going to see that for sure.
Pretty tough to come back without a bingo, down by 64. This is difficult.
I guess Rob might just go ahead and play Caw and Kit through the Eye of Odorize. You're going to outrun most anything with that play. But yeah, tough. I mean, it's not like Joel playing FY on the previous turn would have swung this game that much for him, but he would have scored, 10 fewer points. He would have scored 10 fewer points by playing FY, and now he would have recouped all of those points and then some by playing his J, especially if he still drew the B, because he would play Jib and Jaw, keeping his vowels again. So with the benefit of hindsight, it does seem like Joel, who was very, very close to playing FY, we saw him pick it up before going back to playing his J, it might have worked out slightly better, but I think he was in trouble regardless.
So Joel getting a little bit lower on time now, under 6 minutes to go. Looks like he's lined up Fry on his rack. Maybe he's considering that option.
Yeah, that was suggested by Scrabble in the chat, a couple other people. I think this is probably as good as he can do.
Yeah. BNRS and hope to draw a miracle, EIU or something. Actually, I don't even think Subarin goes anywhere. Bernie's. I guess I don't know what miracle he's trying to draw.
Well, Subarin would give you unberries from the U of.
Right. Unberries, unbusier. Yeah.
So that at least would give you something.
Okay, so there are miracles, but he's not drawing them. He's got the F.
Yeah.
And the H. Oof. Yeah, again, this was a problem that we foresaw a few moves in advance. So we're commenting on that consonant vowel ratio earlier. So
here is the aforementioned. That's true. And it is coming back to bite him. We do see the aforementioned Kit by Rob, which does feel like it scores just enough to be worth playing, given that if Joel is here, it will almost certainly give Rob counterplay, whether it be something like unberries or unbusier through the U of ague, that gives you a triple word score back, or something through the I of Panini, again, gives you a triple word score back. So in either case, pretty much the only thing that can happen for Rob that doesn't give any good counterplay back is if Joel bingos from the E of ague, or I guess into the W of Wah. I don't even know if that's possible anymore. So
Yeah.
So going up by 60 odd points is actually enough to feel comfortable with the outrunning strategy, I would say.
Yeah, seems about right. 16 tiles left, so that means 9 in the bag and 7 on Rob's rack, of course.
And what do you do here if you're Joel that makes you feel like you have any chances?
Jeez. So because we know Rob's rack has an E and an I in it, we know that the actual bag in real life has 8 consonants and 1 E. That is brutal.
Yeah.
If you want to be optimistic and call the Y a vowel, then fine. 7 consonants, an E, and a Y. But
yeah, true.
I'm not really a Y vowel guy. I don't know. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, certainly not for bingoing purposes. The Y is not super likely to help you in that regard.
Unless lordotacy is a word.
Are there that many words ending in ICY? I guess there must be a couple, right? Policy.
See, how many words end in IC and then take a Y? Let's use the computer to check this.
Oh,
0.
so they have to be they have to be hooks as well.
Yeah, I was saying how many words end with IC and then also take a Y. The answer is 0.
Wow, look, the state of being a haruspex is haruspicy.
Yeah, oh wow, that is really cool.
Are you spicy?
Are you spicy?
What a
I thought of policy,
nice
like if Polic were a word, that would be an example of my IC takes a Y, but Polic isn't a thing.
Yes.
Also, Rick is not a thing. Just RIC.
Spicy. Yeah. Wow. Well, next time I play spicy, I'll try to remember that one.
Are you spicy?
Where is Joel getting set to play Burr here? Oh, okay. He's gonna play up there.
Bell. Yeah.
I don't really know. I was looking at plays up there and trying to see, is there anything I can do that gives me a chance to like reopen? Is there a way that I can play a word that lets me hook on top? And I wasn't finding anything.
Yeah.
So I think Joel is probably aware that he's in a tough spot here. And for Rob, that doesn't open much that I have to be worried about. So I'm happy to see that.
Definitely. You look at the pool that's unseen to Rob now. It is 12 tiles. And like we were saying, it's an E and a Y and 10 consonants. And just look at the board too. There's not really much that Joel can do. Yeah, doesn't even have the U to play Fine Smun, which is the only bingo I can even close to see happening on this board.
True.
That's the only thing that's even 1 tile off from being possible that I can see.
I'm just imagining if I'm Rob, is there any, he's going to play Ted, which seems fine. I was just wondering if maybe he wants to try to block the I of Panini just because maybe there's something.
Yeah, Action Typo points out that orpiments disconnected to the O and the I.
Oh, very nice. Orpiments. That's pretty impressive. So you'd want to try to block that. I was just imagining if there's any 8s through the I somehow, even with just the 1 vowel. Maybe there are not. Let's start with have an I in early position. Misentry.
There you go.
But even that, again, that would put the Y in the triple lane, which should be easy to counter. So good job to Rob. He's put himself in pretty good position here. So this will be it for my 4-game block, Evans. And I guess it's fair to say, I mean, I'll be back on Monday, of course, but it's fair to say that I didn't get a true nail biter in my 4 games. So I wish you better luck getting those tight end games.
I appreciate that. Yeah, well, I think we'll get some at some point this weekend. But on the bright side, you get to have the finals on Monday. So no matter whether the games are close or blowouts or whatever, it's going to be excitement for sure.
Absolutely. Very much
This will be
looking
my
forward
last
to
game of
it.
today as well. We're going to be signing off for lunch here in a little bit, and then we're going to come back with an entirely new pair of commentators who I guess I can go ahead and spoil. It's going to be Conrad Bessel-Bichard and Sam Rosen are going to be on the mic for rounds 5 through 8 this afternoon.
Oh man, the chemistry between those two is probably through the roof.
It's even better than Dave Wiegand and Scott Jackson, right?
Well, that's saying a lot because those two have a timeless bromance, but I definitely believe that the Conrad Sam pairing is going to be pretty good for the viewing and listening audience.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have my headphones in so I can listen to them while I direct in the playing room. Can't wait. All right, FY for 24. Let's get the score up to date. It should be 416 to 381. Get that
Yeah,
updated.
that's close enough. That's close enough to create a slightly uncomfortable situation for Rob, but given that there's only one tile in the bag, it should be pretty simple to look and see a complete lack of vowels there. And that's going to make you, as long as you haven't missed tracked, you're going to see that and say, okay, I won this game. I'm good to go.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So he could play something like Geep on top of Burr with confidence, knowing that he's keeping one vowel left over that's going to help him shed that stuff next turn.
Yeah. IST and pretty much any tile in the bag, and you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, IST playing with govs and dot in the upper part of the board. If you draw hist, missed, cyst, I guess the N you'll have
There's
to do
3
something
N's. That's the
else.
most important one. Yeah.
Yeah, but you won't have a play up there, but you'll have other stuff elsewhere like amuses and snit or
yeah, snit. Yeah, there you go.
Nicely spotted by Rob. That's his highest scoring move for sure.
Very good. Yeah.
He's going to draw the M too. Seems like a good tile here.
Yep.
Joel's rack looks like the sort of grunt that I would make when I'm lifting weights.
Yeah, there you go. Joel can play ninths. Not a word you see every day in Scrabble.
That's true. Looks like probably the best he can do to dump a bunch of letters off his rack at once. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the game. So honestly, hard to look back at this and see any big mistakes that any player made here. I can't look back at Rob's moves and really see anything that I would do differently. And frankly, the only move that I would even think about from Joel's end was Wah in the early going. And I really have no clue what the right play is there either. Other than that, pretty good stuff from him. So very crisply played game.
Yeah, it was really well played on both sides. I like the creativity of Deltic setting up the cue by Joel. I thought that was nice. I do still kind of dwell a little bit on your idea of playing quad up top to set up the bingo. That might have been the one thing Joel could have done really differently.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But that's just like a really, high level strategic choice. And certainly all are entitled to their own opinions, especially including world champions. So, who am I to question Joel? It's a really interesting position that we could spend hours talking about.
Yeah, I think it oddly would have led to an even more interesting response from Rob as to what would he have done about that big A.
Yeah.
Hook. So he could I don't think he can ever just let it sit and not address it. I guess he would probably have had to play like UVA and Aqua, leaving GOG blank. Somebody also said he might burn his blank and play Guava. So it would have put him in a tough spot for sure.
Without a doubt. All right, so the final score you see on your screen is correct. It is Rob 483 and Joel 395, your final score. So a nice win for Rob, who improves to 3-1 in the tournament, and Joel's going to fall to 3-1. So two guys at the top of the standings still. Nice morning for the both of them. And I think that's going to do it for the morning for us. Well, I guess for the afternoon in your case. It's 4 o'clock on your end. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Will. And thanks to all of you guys for tuning in for these first 4 games. This has been a really nice opening session to the North American Scrabble or Collins Championship, excuse me. And yeah, Will, any parting thoughts as we wrap up the first morning here?
No, definitely a very overall high level of play. It was a pleasure to be a part of it, and I can't wait to be back for the finals. So
Yeah.
hope things continue to go well on the directorial side and organizational side. And yeah, just thanking everybody for watching. I'll see everybody later, but hopefully everybody stays tuned for the entire weekend's worth of awesome Collins games.
Yeah, sounds great. All right, we're going to take a break for about an hour and a half so everybody can have lunch. We'll be back for rounds 5, 6, 7, and 8 of the NAC here from Seattle at about 2:30 local time. So enjoy the lunch break, and we will see you guys after the break with 4 more games. All right, see you guys later.